Hello, welcome back to Pleasantview. We're nearing the end of this first introductory season of Pleasantview, but we still have some families left, and a lot of them live in the same apartment complex, and that is over here. So today we're starting off with the Doe family, and that is Lily Doe and Iris Cooper. All right, so this is the apartment lot, and since this is the first family that we play in this, I will give you a proper tour of the house. So this is just a flat rooftop with nothing on it, but they can walk up here if they want to, and they have these staircases here, as well as a spiral staircase in there. Then on the back it looks like this. So it's got a little bit of a it's an outside communal area here with some tables down here. And then it's just a sort of hallway, I guess. And this is the entrance. So we have the two apartments on this floor actually also has built-in garages. So you come in here and then you just have these hallways here. And then this leads up to the roof. And then we have Lily and Iris apartment. So this is the garage. So this is where Lily spends a lot of time on her cars. And I think that Iris will also start to spend some time here on the robot station. And then we have the entrance right here with a spiral staircase down to the garage as well. And then in here we have the bathroom. Going this way is the living room. And that is combined with the kitchen as well. Then in here we have the room that Lily and Iris are sharing right now. But they also have a spare room in here that is currently unused. And that is the whole apartment. So let's move on to the characters. First out is Iris, and this is of course Ivy Cooper from the start, but I made her sisters with the other Ivy Cooper in the neighborhood, so I had to rename her, and I chose Iris because that is also in the plant family, and I thought that it sounded pretty similar, so Ivy and Iris sounds pretty good together, so that's why she has that name now. She is a knowledge sim, and she is a Virgo, extremely neat, also extremely shy, serious, but also in between nice, grouchy, and a little bit more active than Daisy. She's normal weight, and her hobby is science. So the telescope that you saw in the other room was hers. And her secondary aspiration is family. I think I'm gonna give her this one. And her lifetime wish is to reach golden anniversary. So she definitely wants to find the right person and stay with that person for the rest of her life. As I mentioned, she is sisters with Ivy Cooper, who of course has Hazel with Don Lothario, so that is Iris' niece. And I don't know how well they know each other. Yeah, they're best friends, and that makes sense because Iris lived together with her sister for the longest time. That was actually the house that I moved them both in together in when I started playing the condo that Ivy is still living in. And Iris used to have the room that Hazel has right now. So that was where she was living all throughout her teenage years as well as her college years, actually. She never moved away from that place. And she spent all her years studying in that same house with her sister. And it wasn't until she had become involved with Sophie Miguel that she actually eventually moved out, and both of them moved into Don Lothario's old condo. So Sophie and Iris had been best friends since high school. They had been seeing each other as friends, very, very close friends for a long time. And Iris hadn't actually known that she was bisexual before she started to get feelings for Sophie. But becoming close with her and eventually getting feelings for her was what sort of triggered that. So Iris could swing both ways, but right now she's a little bit more into girls. So she fell in love with Sophie quite quickly, and she definitely wanted to spend the rest of her life with Sophie. Iris has turned out to be someone who's falling in love very easily, but unfortunately the Sims that she has fallen in love with don't fall for her back. That was the case with Sophie. They were together for years, really, but Sophie never ended up falling in love with Iris, and eventually it just became unbearable because Iris proposed to Sophie, I think twice, but Sophie rejected her both times, and that really soured their relationship, and Iris couldn't accept that uncommitting attitude that Sophie had, because of course she wants to find someone to spend the rest of her life with, and if she is going out of her way to try to make that happen and to put all her love on one person and that person isn't giving her as much love back, then that's not going to be a situation that Iris can stand. Now, she has been very shy all her life and she hasn't had that many close friends. So losing Sophie's love and Sophie's friendship during their breakup was very, very devastating for her. And at first she didn't really have anywhere to go. But she ended up moving into this apartment. Now, this apartment from the start was actually where Lilith and Ophelia moved in after finishing up at university. And then eventually when Ophelia started to see Johnson and Lilith started to see Lily, that was when they moved in here as well. But then, of course, Ophelia and Johnson wanted to have somewhere to start their family, so they moved out. And eventually Iris ended up moving into this spare room. That is the next room over from this one. As for her career, she is working as a field researcher right now. So she's not employed at the hospital or anything like that, but she is in the science career. I am actually thinking about starting up some sort of science facility as well in Pleasantview, and I think that Iris would be a very good candidate to work there. It might also be interesting to plan for her to take over the role as the science teacher at the high school eventually. If Cassandra ends up retiring, we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, I think that something like that would suit her as well. And then we have Lily, and she's also a knowledge sim. And her hobby is tinkering. And she's actually a Sagittarius. So she's also very shy and serious, but she's a bit more nice and a bit less neat, really, and pretty active as well. And she's reaching a little bit more towards being fit. Looking at her secondary aspiration, it is pleasure. Yeah, let's go with that for her. Her lifetime wish is to max out 7 skills, and her career is in the natural scientist field. So she's a scat master right now, and that is very, very niche, very quirky, I think. There's not very many working with that, but I think that it suits Lily quite well. So she doesn't have any familial relationships in her family tree, but I do envision her as someone who has grown up with a single father and a few brothers. And they lived in the outskirts of downtown. Her father was a car mechanic, and that's where Lily acquired her love for cars and other vehicles like that, and her love for tinkering as well. I think that she and her brother spent a lot of time in the garages and learning a lot of things from her father, who was seeing a lot of clients, and helping him out really in his job. And yeah, of course, Lily wanted to have some place where she could live with a garage, and this seemed to be the perfect apartment for that. So Lily is completely gay, and she's pretty attracted to Iris, really. I think that she is the one she's the most attracted to, yeah. But of course, she started out going out with Lilith, and that was when I started to play with her. At the beginning of their relationship, everything seemed to work really, really well. Both of them were a little bit like outcasts in the neighborhood. Lilith because she had a lot of people who didn't like her or that she didn't get along with, and Lily because she didn't really know a lot of people moving in here from downtown, and also being in that job where she didn't have a lot of local colleagues either. So they had a lot of things in common like that, and they got along really, really well. And Lily actually eventually ended up proposing to Lilith, and she said yes. So things looked like they were going to turn out really, really well for both of them. They were on their way to eventually get married, and Lilith was very happy at the time to finally get rid of her last name, Pleasant, because she had always detested that last name, and she was looking forward to becoming Lilith Doe instead. But that was the time when Ricky Cormier moved into one of the other apartments in this complex, and things started to get messy. Because at first, Ricky and Lilith weren't really getting along that well because he had just left Angela at the altar. So at first, Lilith was pretty angry at him because of that. But eventually, they rekindled their friendship, and Lilith was starting to see things from his side. And one thing led to another, and eventually they were starting to flirt with each other whenever they would see each other in the communal area. And Lily ended up seeing them, and she didn't confront Lilith about it because she was a bit awkward about it, and she didn't know how serious it was or what was going on really, but she sort of bottled it up and started to have all of these feelings of frustration and anger that she didn't let loose. She didn't want to put any stress on Lilith because she knew her past, she knew how mentally unstable she could be in some circumstances, especially when it comes to relationships, and she was trying to give Lily some freedom, but at the same time she couldn't hold her own feelings back, and it turned into something pretty ugly because she didn't confront Lilith about it. So when Iris ended up moving in, and Lily thought that she was pretty attractive, and Iris was also in a very vulnerable state. She had just lost a relationship that she had been counting on, that she had hoped would last her whole life, and she needed some comfort. Both of them ended up taking comfort in each other, and they didn't really do anything that serious. They were actually just seeing each other in Iris' room, and things got a little bit intense. They started making out, but nothing more than that. And that was, of course, when Lilith stepped into the room and caught them at it. And because Lily hadn't really confronted Lilith about flirting with Ricky, to Lilith it felt like it just came out of nowhere, and she couldn't handle the rejection and all of these strong feelings of betrayal, really. So she broke up with Lily on the spot and left the apartment. And that ended their relationship very brutally, very quickly, and Lily was a bit shell-shocked from it. She hadn't thought that Lilith would just up and leave at the first difficult thing in their relationship, but she did. She broke it off and didn't stay. And Lily felt a lot of regret after that, and of course only Iris was left to comfort her, and the both of them grew closer because of that, and really supported each other in these hard times in their lives. They were going through something very similar after all, and they are very similar people, and they have really been supportive towards each other. As you can see, Lily hasn't ended up falling in love with Iris yet, but Iris has. As I said, Iris falls in love very easily, but yeah, Lily hasn't done that yet, so we'll have to see what happens actually. If she ends up actually falling in love with Iris, or what will happen. I really hope she will. I think that they are pretty suited to each other. Yeah, you never know. Then we have this little guy. This is Simi, and that is Iris' cat. So he's currently downstairs here, trying to beg off food from Oliver. But yeah, he's pretty hyper, but also cowardly and finicky. So he's pretty sweet, really. And he's been a cat that Iris got when she still lived together with Sophie. If I recall correctly from Sophie's episode, she was actually missing Simi quite a lot, and that was one of the reasons why she got a cat of her own, because of course Simi followed with Iris because she's his owner, but he's also pretty close, of course, with Sophie. So before I start their day, there's something else that I want to do, and that is getting them a roommate to move into this empty room. And one of the reasons why I want to do that is because there's one service sim left that I haven't moved in yet, because I moved in all of the police officers, the burglars, but there's one maid that I haven't made playable yet, and that is Lucy Hanby. I haven't really known what to do with her. I've had her in my thoughts, trying to fit her in somewhere, but I've drawn a blank, really. So I've actually decided to just go ahead and move her in and then sort of get to know her as I play her, and then I'm sure that things will fall into place eventually. So this might also be a good opportunity to show you how to make a townie playable if you don't already know. And the way that I do it is that I use the sim blender, and then I need to find them. Ah, there she was. Good. So she's of course wearing her maid outfit right now, but we need to get her something else. But first of all, we need to move her in. So the easiest way to do it is to just go to Family and move in Lucy. And there she is. So right now, she doesn't have a college degree or anything. She's like the default age. And yeah, so I have some things that I need to fix for her. So I'm going to bring out the bat box as well. And I need to figure out what college degree I want to give her. And yeah, this is a sim that was created before the university expansion. So that's why I'm using the pre-uni. So Lucy is currently employed in the maid career. Do I know what her hobby is? It's cuisine, actually. And her aspiration is popularity. It looks like she wants to be a military, but I don't think I want to go with that. Well, cuisine, that's actually interesting. She's not very good at cooking, though. That's funny. I guess she enjoys it, but she's not very practiced in it. Yeah, she's a popularity sim, but she doesn't know a lot of people. I don't usually pay a lot of attention to this, but she seems like she's into a lot of things that has to do with cuisine, really. Yeah, I could definitely see her go for literature. I'm pretty sure that literature helps towards the culinary career as well. I'm just going to fact check that. And I'll be right back. No, I was wrong, actually. It's either philosophy or art that helps towards culinary. I don't think that I would go with art for her. So I'm going to pick out philosophy. And that's going to be her major. I also need to add her in my spreadsheet. So let's bring that up. So she's going to be on age. Yeah, I need to check what her eye color is. It's brown. All right, so here she is. So she's an adult popularity. I don't know what her secondary aspiration should be. So I think I'll have to get to know her a little bit better first. And then I will also pick out the lifetime want after I've chosen the secondary aspiration. Yeah, of course, she's a single right now, doesn't have a partner. I don't know what her sexual preference is. I usually default them to straight and then see if I change my mind eventually. So I think I'm going to do that. I think that things might also become a bit messy if we have 3 gay or bisexual females in the same apartment, at least to start out. I might change my mind later, but let's see. As for religion, I also usually default them to agnostic before I get a clear picture. So I think I'm going to do that now as well. Yeah, and she's going to be in the cleaning career as a maid, at least to start out. I'm pretty sure I'm going to give her the level 10 culinary career though, but I'll have to work a bit on it first, I think, because I usually prefer to pick out the lifetime wants based on secondary aspirations, so I definitely want to figure out that one first before I settle on a lifetime want as well. And yeah, I think that is as much as we know about her currently. So I am going to also consider her age. I don't think that she should be this young. I mean, I've seen her work as a maid for a very long time, really. So it makes sense to me that she would be sort of middle age. But I might not make her like completely middle age because I want some time to play with her as well. So, oh right, I have this one that only does 1 day at a time. Yeah, I need to get the one that has different options. Because this is gonna take a while. Let's see what that did. Maybe a little bit more. Oop, picked the wrong sim. 18 days. Yes, I think that that's pretty good. Because then it feels like she's been working as a maid for a while, but she still has some time left in her life. Yeah, that makes sense to me. So I'll get rid of this. And I'm going to give her a makeover. Right, so I actually didn't used to have her in that hair. I used to have her in this, actually. So I think I'm going to continue with that hair, but she doesn't need to have it for every outfit, I think. It looks good for formal, though. Yeah, I think mostly she can have that. It's fine. And then I think she already has some makeup on, but I think I want to change some things around. Yeah, I think I like that for her, so let's go with that. And then clothing, of course. All right, so we have some clothes for her. Let's change her to casual. Nice. So she's standing like that, which lets me know that she's lazy. Oh, wow. Yeah, really lazy. But it looks like she was born with other traits than what she has right now. She's always been outgoing, but she's become really, really neat. And I guess that makes sense with her job. So that's probably why. But she's also grown really, really lazy. Possible that she has had higher ambitions, like in the culinary business or something like that, but she's never made it. Maybe that's made her lazy and a little bit like feel like she's not succeeding. But she's also grown more nice than she was when she was born. So maybe she's learned from her life to be humble or something like that. Yeah, that's interesting. Yes. And we need a room for her as well, or well, furniture that is. And she needs a job too. So I'm gonna start with the job thing. Yeah, cleaning. Take the job. Okay, yeah. So she's not earning a lot. But this seems to be a Well, she's been working for a while. I feel like maybe she should be a bit higher up in the career. Do I have a newspaper? No, I don't think so. Right, so she's at level 3 now. I think that's at least 4, right? Yeah, the only thing she lacks is body, really. So I think that's fine. Right, and I need to also remember to put in job stoppinators. I don't feel any need to have a job stoppinator for Lucy. I think I do want one for Iris though, but Lily can also stay without one. So let's give her that. And then let's buy some furniture for Lucy. Yeah, I think that something like this for Lucy is going to be good. So let's start with this and see where we end up with her. So I definitely read Lucy as someone who would have cats. Or at least one cat. That's definitely the vibe I'm getting from her. And I actually saw that there was a cat out here. It's Kim. I mean, yeah, I feel like she might have a cat like that. And Kim seems like a classical stray. So I guess it wouldn't be completely amiss if Lucy had gotten to know Kim and adopted him or her. So let's see. Kim. Oh, we don't know Kim yet, so I don't know if it's a male or female cat. But yeah, Kim lives with us now. Apparently a Leo. Oh, very aggressive. So we'll have to see how he or she gets along with Kimmy. Yeah, no bad traits though, so let's see. First things first, we need to get Lucy to get to know everyone. She wants to be friends with Iris, so that's good. And oh, I haven't. Apparently, I already have her sexuality set to bisexual, it seems like. But she's not attracted to either of these girls. So maybe we're safe, actually. Yeah, so I'm going to change her sexuality actually to bisexual then, since I already seem to have decided that. And yeah, so let's praise Kim for getting clean and see. She's extremely unattracted to Iris. So Iris is cooking something. I don't know if it's serving or just making something for herself, but yeah, we'll have to see. That's nice. Oh wow, she's extremely attracted to Oliver. Wow, I did not see that coming. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, so Kim is a female cat actually. That's sweet. So why don't you feed a treat? Okay, so apparently Oliver wants to chat with her. Sure, go ahead. Yeah, and they're getting along instantly. That's actually really interesting because Oliver is engaged to Demi Love. Okay, they didn't end up getting along that well though. So yeah, this might be interesting to explore later on. Yeah, so let's just see what Kim gets up to later. And looks like Iris made pancakes for herself. Yeah, so she's going to work a bit late, and she's also going to work a bit late. And she also. So all of them are going to head off to work, but they need to eat some breakfast. Yeah, since Lucy loves cooking, she's not good at it, but that's what she enjoys doing. So I'm gonna have her serve some breakfast, and they can enjoy those. So yeah, maybe something like that. Oh no, we don't have any food. Well, This might actually be a good opportunity to go out on town with Lucy and get to know her a little bit better. If we take her to the grocery store, she might actually meet some more people there as well. So I think that I'm going to send her to the grocery store. Okay, so the cat is up to something down here. And that is destroying the stuff down here. So I'm gonna send down Iris to scold for destroying the furniture. We have a perfectly good cat tree that you can use. Apparently, the cat is walking through these newspapers. They're not blocking that, so I guess maybe just move this. They can sit under the table like that. I think that's fine. So Lucy is arriving. So let's see what Sims we have on this lot, who she can meet. So we have Nero Caliente, but he's a teen, so that doesn't really fit. Okay, Stacy Lou. I don't know who that is actually. Some random townie. Do we have anyone in here? Ooh, yes. So she already knows Sophie apparently, but Kaylin is definitely someone that she will have to know. She already knows Remington as well, so that's good. So I want her to meet Kaylin, and there's also another maid in this neighborhood called Solveig, who was generated after I made these guys playable. So I think I want to introduce those two as well. I think there's a new guy as well, but I haven't seen him a lot, so maybe wait with him. But yeah, she definitely needs to greet Kaylin, and it looks like she already is going to. For some reason, they are drinking cans, chatting like this. I wonder if it has something to do with having that menu board and making these things like usable, because it looks like they just picked it up from the shelf and started drinking it. Huh. Well, I hope you're paying for it. Yeah, so she's going to greet Kaylin once she has drunk that. Great. So they can chat a little bit. Yeah, so Kaylin is a pretty good chef actually. And of course, Lucy enjoys cooking, so that was apparently something that they started talking about. And yeah, probably Lucy is asking Kaylin if she's planning on cooking something special since she's in the grocery store. Looks like they're talking a lot about sports as well, and maybe they're excited about all of the things that's going on with the soccer field right now. Something that will bring a lot of people together and eventually being able to watch games. I think maybe that's something that has been announced in the hood and that a lot of people are excited for. Cool. Yeah, so I want to build their relationship a little bit eventually. I'm just gonna check if there's anyone new who has arrived. We have Brittany Tellerman in her policeman outfit. Look at that. Looking good, Brittany. Yeah. I'm not used to seeing her like that. But that's cool. Right, so let's just buy some food. Nice. And I mean, you can greet Brittany, why not? Say hi. Yeah, but I don't really see any reason why they would stop and chat. So yeah, there's not really anyone else for Lucy to meet on this lot, but I was very happy about Kaylin. So let's send her back home and cook some breakfast. So Lucy is returning with the food, so she's going to bring that up. And let's see what the others are up to. Looks like Iris has scolded Kim now for destroying the furniture. So let's also give her some love. I think that Iris is also pretty happy to have another cat in the house. Nice. So let's see. Looks like Lily and Sumi are spending the morning together, so that's sweet. And apparently Lucy lost a lot of energy from that outing. So that doesn't seem very realistic to me, so I'm going to bump it up again. She just got some food for them after all, so let's serve some breakfast then. Looks like Iris is still down here playing with the cat. But I think that she's going to go to work now. Yep. So she's heading out. Oh no, apparently something bad happened to Lucy. So she something dropped down. Okay, yeah. Looks like she's recovered after eating that food though. So she's striking up a conversation with Lily, starting to get to know her better. So that's good. They're talking about their experience at university. Yeah, so far they seem to get along pretty well. Okay, so Lucy is going to work now. And I think Lily can just clean up a bit now. And Kim is behaving really well, so let's just praise her for playfulness. Oh, she's a sweet cat. Cute. Yeah, so Lily has some time to use the bathroom before work as well. And little Simi is sleeping in the pet bed. Okay, so this is the way we want to play it, is it? Yeah, I don't think that they would mind having the cats on the counters. That's fine. So the carpool is here, so she has to stop washing her face and then head out. And we have a chance card for Iris. In a remote section of the SimCity outback, Iris has come upon a previously undiscovered entranceway to an outcropping of ruins built into the base of a mountain and covered by dense jungle foliage. This is a major discovery, but Iris isn't sure how to proceed. Should she enter the ruins by herself and attempt to ascertain their nature, or head back to the Institute and inform some of the more distinguished archaeologists in the ruins' existence? I definitely think that she would not go in herself. She's very shy. I don't think that she would do that. And I think she's very logical and she wants things done properly. Yeah, so she would go and get help. Iris quickly transcribes a few of the unrecognizable glyphs from the oversized stone entranceway and hurries back to the Institute. She finds a contingent of archaeologists in the lounge. Nearly out of breath with excitement, Iris tells the archaeologists of her discovery and shows them the transcribed glyphs, explaining that she believes them to be of extraterrestrial origins. They all agree that the language has never before been seen by the scientific community, but break into laughter as one of the younger scientists tosses a newspaper to Iris, the front page of which has a cover story about a Studio Town production house that has recently spent millions to turn a huge section of SimCity jungle into a set for an upcoming film. Humiliated, Iris leaves the lounge, losing one logic skill point. Oh, poor Iris. I think that she feel really, really ashamed by that interaction because she's so shy. And yeah, to also have her intelligence questioned a bit is also probably really, really humiliating to her. So I think that she will not feel very well when she returns back from work today. Oh, wow. Yeah, so it's just going to be the cats left home now. So we'll have to see what they get up to, really. And then the next person to arrive back home is going to be Iris, I think, at 3. Yeah, the others return at 6. So let's see what happens. Okay, so it looks like they're both falling asleep in here. That's pretty cute, although this pet bed needs to be cleaned. But yeah, that's cute. All right, so Iris has returned from work. Nice. Looks like Sumi is out here for a hug. That's really cute. Oh, it was interrupted, but I want to do that. That's cute. Okay, so first things first. We need to fix this. So clean and fill the bowl. Good, and then we can clean this, but we can praise Kim for being in the pet bed. That's good. And then Iris needs a shower. Oh, looks like the cats are getting along. That's promising, seeing as Kim was pretty aggressive. So that's good to see. Right, so Iris is done in the bathroom. So I'm gonna have her nap for a bit, I think. Oh, here we have it. Looked though like it was Simi who instigated it this time. So, I don't know, is Simi also aggressive? No, he's actually cowardly. Interesting. Yeah, but so far, I mean, I think that Kim has been really behaving really well. So, Iris is thinking about babies. Yeah, I definitely do think that she would want some kids eventually, in one way or another. Right. She's a little bit hungry, but I think that I might wait until they are all home. These guys have eaten at work though. So yeah, actually I'm gonna have her have something on her own. Let's grab some soup, I think. Because it looks like these guys are gonna have to spend some time on their own when they're arriving back home. All right, so they're both back from work. Cool. So I'm gonna start by having Lily use the bathroom and have a shower. And Lucy, yeah, I think I'm gonna have her watch some TV. Oh, okay, yeah, but maybe you wanna change out of your work outfit though, Lucy. Let's just change into every day. Because that looks a little bit uncomfortable. Yep, and let's go with the Yummy channel. All right, yeah, since the other girls seem to be pretty exhausted from work, really, I think that Iris would head down to the garage and make some toy robots and start out with this new hobby of hers. I actually have a mod that changes what hobby enthusiasm this gives. So this is actually science now instead of tinkering. So she's going to work on that for a while. Yeah, it looks like Lily has gone to bed. Yeah, she was very tired. And I think actually that I'm gonna have Lucy get freshened up now. Oh yeah, I think I can actually give her some points here because I see that her mood is going down very quickly, and of course it's because I haven't given her any of these things. So, do I know already what secondary aspiration I want to give her? Yeah, I think I do actually. The one I feel strongest for her is family. Because I don't really see her as someone who's looking for romance like that. And I don't think that she's after knowledge for knowledge's sake. I don't really see her as someone who's really, really ambitious and striving for like earning a lot of money and things like that. I think she's more into the people she has around her. And I don't really see her as pleasure either. And yeah, grilled cheese, I don't really go for that. Yeah, so I'm gonna choose family. So I'm gonna write that in my spreadsheet. And that also means that I can figure out a lifetime wish for her. So I don't think that that suits her. So I'm gonna use the bat box. Yeah, cycle lifetime wish. Graduate 3 children from college. Well, that's a family one. But I don't really feel that for her. Hall of Famer, no, not that. Nope. Not an icon. 6 grandchildren. No, I'm not feeling it for her. No, not the mayor of 6 children either, actually. No, I don't think she wants to become a mayor. 20 simultaneous best friends. Well, she is very outgoing. And I do see her as someone who could strive for friendships. So that's a little bit sad that she's starting out as a left-out loner in that case, but yeah, I kind of like it. Yeah, let's go with that. All right, cool. Yeah, so I think I'm actually also going to send Lucy to sleep for a while, since she's so exhausted. And Iris is making progress down here. Yeah, so Lily has actually recovered a little bit. So I think it would be nice for her to spend some time with Iris. They haven't really been together very long, so I think it would be nice for them to just hang out a bit and get to know each other better. So they have actually ended up woohooing very recently. They didn't do anything while Lily and Lilith were still together, of course, but after she left, they needed some comfort in each other, and that's what ended up happening. So yeah, she's really tired, but I wonder if I maybe can make her stay up a while by drinking some coffee. Yeah, Lucy has recovered now, so I can have her come up as well. Maybe watch some TV. Okay, this table is a bit in the way, looks like. So let's move it over there and see if that helps. Yep, good. Right, so they're talking about work. Yeah, they're getting along pretty well. So that's nice. Looks like they're close to being friends, at least from Lily's side. Nice. So she's recovered a little bit now. That's good. So I think that it might be nice if these two headed up to the rooftop to stargaze a little bit. Yeah. I'm just gonna have Lucy have a sandwich. And yeah, maybe I should send them up to the roof first. Nice. So they can cuddle under the stars. So that's pretty romantic. But it doesn't look like they stayed for very long, of course. Yeah, they're both tired. Oh well, they got the quickie, like a quick time under the stars anyway, so yeah. Let's have them relax in bed then instead. Oh, looks like Kim has fallen asleep on Lucy's bed, but she can't use it then, so let's just stroke her a little bit. She can actually play a little bit with her as well. Yeah, so they actually look like they are pretty happy together. And yeah, I actually like them together. I think that they make a pretty good couple. But yeah, so far Lily hasn't fallen in love with her. So we'll have to see what happens. Yeah, okay. And Lucy just went to bed as well. All right then. So that was it for the, well, the Doe family. This is. All right then. So I hope that you enjoyed this episode. We will continue on with the other families in the same apartment complex next time. So I hope you look forward to that. So see you next time and take care. Bye.